working together to plan a Christmas party, never settle for good enough, and will the Christmas tree stop glitching? It's all happening here at AfterBuzz TV. Stay tuned.
You're tuning in to AfterBuzz TV's The Christmas 24/7 channel, keeping the spirit of Christmas 24/7. Give, forgive, be merry.
Happy holidays!
Hi. We got our bells.
I know, we have our festive bells here. Mine was backwards. There we go.
Thank you, producer Jonathan, for hooking that up for us.
Thank you. Welcome, AfterBuzzers and Hallmarkies, to the Countdown to Christmas After Show. Tonight, we're breaking down Christmas in Dollywood. I'm your host, Chelsie Overocker, and joined by me, I have Haley J here, who is a longtime believer of the Santa Claus.
I am. Longtime believer, love the holidays, and love seeing a holiday movie with Dolly Parton.
Yes.
Can we talk about that?
And yeah, her fabulous hair, as
and this
always.
sequins, oh my gosh, like she just full Dolly. I was excited to see her in this movie, for sure.
Me too. Well, I'm excited to start breaking down this movie, and then we have our Hallmark Essential Checklist. We rate the Hallmark movies because we have a format that we feel like every Hallmark movie follows, and we're going to see if this one does the same. And then we have gift giving ideas with Haley J here. We are getting closer to the holidays. What, 17 days away?
17 days.
17 days. The countdown is on. So you're going to want to hear what she has to say. She could give you some good ideas.
Hopefully.
Well, let's get into tonight's movie. What was your overall thoughts?
I knew it was going to be a fun one just because of Dolly Parton, so I knew it was going to be something about like glitz and glam and romance, and which we pretty much saw. I saw less of Dolly than I thought I would, but I guess you gotta kind of assume that was gonna happen. You know, they're gonna save her till the end and have this appearance. I didn't expect her to have the scene with Rachel in the end where they had this whole kind of heart-to-heart, so that was nice to see. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, overall, I thought the movie was really great. I wrote down one of my favorite quotes from it by Dolly herself, but Luke was actually the one to say that she said, "Don't get so busy making a living you forget to make a life." And that resonated with me, especially in the fast-paced world that we're in. I think a lot of us are guilty of that. So
yeah, it's funny. I wrote that one down too. Yeah. Don't be so busy you forget to make a life. So true, because, you know, especially being out here in LA, we're always constantly on the go.
Next, you're not enjoying things.
Yeah, and just anywhere. And, you know, anyone can relate to this. Yeah. But, you know, I think it's so important to build those relationships, build those friendships, like get to know people, because conversations that you have with people will be more meaningful and will impact you more than, you know, maybe a step forward in your career.
Right.
You know?
And she just is a very positive light, even as simple as saying, you know, the people that want to bring you down, just they need to get out of your way because there's so many of us out here doing it. Like, it should be that simple. You should just, you know, do the best you can and try and weed out those negative voices that are ultimately just bringing you down. You don't need that.
Yeah.
And she just simplifies it. She's just like, hey, do your thing.
I know. I kind of just want to have a conversation with Dolly because can she give me some life advice?
Jealous of Miley Cyrus. Isn't that like her godmother, I think?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Must be nice
to have at the holidays with her, I'm sure.
Yeah, must be nice having Dolly on your side and being there.
What did you think of the whole dynamic between Rachel and then being a single mom with her daughter and then meeting Luke? What did you think of that?
I thought it was great, and I really like Rachel and Luke together because the meeting with them, you know, kind of, first of all, she thought, oh, this is someone that's going to be competing against, trying to get the job, and then now they're working together. I thought it was good because I think they helped each other out, because Luke helped Rachel realize, hey, don't settle for less, don't settle for plan B, like follow your passion, which is her being a writer and wanting to be writing for children's books. And I liked how he pushed that side of her and she started writing again.
Yeah, and it's interesting the dynamic that a work situation can put over a relationship. If you go in thinking you're competitors, you kind of put up this wall thinking we can't be friends, much less romantic. But then the second you realize, oh, he's actually on my side and not against me, you kind of open the door to form something more. So I feel like that happens a lot, actually, where relationships are very different just based on the work dynamic that you go into it. Like, you have a role in the office, and sometimes that takes over your personal life.
Yeah.
But I just wonder how many more people would be friends if they weren't in that competitive mindset from the beginning.
That's true, because I feel like, you can accomplish a lot more when everyone works together instead of just being
100%.
that competitive. And it took Luke a while to kind of work with Rachel because, he was always telling his friend, she's always throwing stuff at me. And, I kind of see where he's coming from. But at the end, when they came together, that's when they're able to accomplish the most.
Right. And it is a blessing in disguise, too, before you're romantic with someone to be on a friendship level because you're not
100%.
putting up that fake, I'm perfect persona. She was even being pushy. She even admitted that she was wrong. So they learned how to work together as friends first, and then the romance came after. So I think that's where you have the most stability in a relationship, when you don't even have any kind of front starting off. You're just yourself, and you learn that way rather than pretending to be someone else.
I agree. Do you think you could ever work with someone, like be in a working relationship and then start a romantic relationship with them?
I think it happens all the time. The lines get blurred. So it depends. It depends how our relationship at work was, where do we see each other all the time? Do I just happen to pass you? Are we in the same building, or are we on the same team? I think it's like, how close are you in the workforce and what's appropriate and what's not. But it's just really hard because once you know someone on a personal level, you do act different towards them in a professional field. You don't see them the same.
It is. And then if you ever have conflict with the work and then they get upset with you about
that's where it gets really dicey.
Yeah, because you can take it personally, like, wait a second.
And take it out on each other when you get home, like, you're sleeping on the couch tonight, like.
Yeah.
But you see it happen, so.
It happens all the time.
It's just very individual couple.
You have to be smart about it, but I do agree with you where I think in the case with Rachel and Luke, they got to know each other through work and say, okay, this is how they are, this is what they like, they don't like, and then they were able to build upon that and put into a romantic relationship. So, true Hallmark.
And I did like them as characters. They seemed like real people, too. They seemed pretty, not overly fluff for, like, a Hallmark character. They seemed, like, cool. I liked them.
Yeah,
more relatable.
Me too. And then, what did you think about Luke's character? Because he's kind of going in as this boss mindset. He's interviewing to be the general manager. And then I think one thing that Rachel does is she kind of brings the family lifestyle with his life, because they all make Yule logs together. And
Did you ever do that, by the way?
No, I haven't.
Either. They look awesome, but that's just not something my family ever did. Like the Yule log. I always thought it was an actual log. I did. And when I heard about it in songs, I just thought it was a log, and it took me a while. And by a while, I mean, I think I found out last year that it's not a log. I can't be the only one.
No,
I might be the only one.
Okay, maybe I thought the same thing
like,
too.
You did?
Yeah,
okay. When you just hear it in songs growing up, you're not thinking they're talking about cake.
Yeah.
I loved it when I found out they're talking about cake.
Well, it just looks very complicated to make.
It does. Like, you should buy it.
Yeah. And, I would be right with Luke. I'd be struggling trying to make that Yule log cake because he was like, how does this work? So I give him props for his first time attempting that. But no, I think that's what I really like about Rachel, is that she brings more of the family lifestyle. And even Luke's friend tells him, hey, you're not so much involved in your work. You're more invested in getting to know her and getting to know her family. So he's like, that's really cool, because he's always, I feel like, that type of guy that just likes things a certain way and always goes by the numbers.
Yeah, and I know I say this, and I'm very fortunate to be close with my family. I know not everyone is, so I just do want to say, being over here like, oh, a family should always be together. I understand that. Not every dynamic is the same, but being fortunate to want to be with my family, and that's what I do love so much about the holidays, because I do think about just growing up and decorating the tree, and whether you celebrate Christmas or not. Like, my dad's Jewish, but just getting everyone together, and just the idea of slowing down, stepping back from work. We say it all the time that we get so caught up. So the holidays just really do remind me of this time to come together, and even if it's for a couple of days, just cook with your family, overeat, have fun times, just be with each other. And seeing a lot of the messages in these movies take these characters that are so wrapped up in their work and their lives, as cheesy as they can be sometimes, it still has that same underlying message that I think we really all can relate to and would like to get to. So I loved seeing that they prioritize family at the end of everything.
Yeah, I agree. And then, did you like the concept of this movie too, about how Luke and Rachel are working together to get this Christmas party going, get the Christmas parade up and running, and then that Christmas tree keeps glitching.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know if it was going to get started or not.
That's got to be a terrifying. We were just talking about how they must feel setting up in New York and Rockefeller Center when they light the tree. But I mean, these things happen, right?
Yeah.
Everyone at least can understand technology doesn't always work. So, but that's got to be a lot of pressure on the team trying to put it all together.
Yeah. I think it was definitely a lot of pressure between them. But at the end of the day, they got the job done. And I think that's when Rachel realized, okay, I'm supposed to be here. I belong here. And same thing with Luke, too. He's like, I belong in this town as well. And he got the position for general manager, too. But with Rachel, do you like how at the end she's like, I'm going to go ahead and pursue my career with writing? And that's the path that she went down. Did you like how they tied that in at the end?
Yeah, because I think that it's just the whole message of Dolly saying, don't settle, go for what you want. And we almost saw Rachel say, you know what, my life's good in New York. If it's not fixed, if it's not broken, don't, what's that expression?
If it's not, don't fix
If it's not broke, don't fix it or something.
something.
So she was
Don't
just
fix
thinking
anything
like,
that's not
oh, I
broken.
should be thankful. I should be lucky. But that doesn't mean we can't still appreciate what we have and still want more and still want to fulfill that purpose within us. Doesn't mean we're ungrateful. It's just, when you're capable of more and when you want more and when you're willing to work for it. So I was really happy to see that she didn't settle, and Dolly saying like, hey, life is short. You need to go for your highest potential. And they both did in the end in all aspects of love life and professional life. So I think it was only fitting that she would now take that step too.
And I love her little girl Ava at the end when she's like, so Mommy, does that mean that all the kids get this for their Christmas if it's on Dolly's Imagination Library? What is it called? Imagination Library thing that she won. And I thought that was really cute.
And what a great message to even just throw that in the script, to have other kids watching think, oh, wow, this little girl is still thinking about these other kids.
Yeah. I thought that's great. And that was also a good message, too, for Ava to see, because I think that was a good learning lesson. Like, hey, you're never too old to pursue something that you're very passionate about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, to this day, we can, we're only in our 20s, but to anyone, like, if you want to learn something, go after it. There's no cutoff. You have your own limitations, and that's it. It's the ones you put on yourself.
Yep.
And look at Dolly. I mean, she's still thriving.
Oh my gosh, she looks amazing.
Thriving.
Yeah, like you said, like the end with those sequins.
Doesn't she just
outfit.
make you want to like go to a New Year's Eve party right now with all like the sequins and the designs? Like, she's just so fun.
Oh, she is. She is. Yeah. So I'm so glad she made an appearance, and I'm glad that she said that message to Rachel too. Like, she was kind of the one that gave her that push.
Yeah, and her little casual line about, I might have more connections than you, honey.
Yeah.
But she offers up this confidence without being cocky. You know what I mean? Like, she just knows that she's great without coming off like a diva, which I think there's a fine line, and she does it very well.
Yes, she does. So overall, we love this movie.
Yes.
Yep, Christmas in Dollywood. We're a fan
Dollywood
of
sounds
it.
like a fun place to go.
It does. I want to go
Can
to
we
it.
just go?
Yes, yes. Well, speaking of our fans, Haley, you have a message for them.
Well, first of all, we want to say thank you guys for watching with us, but we do need one extra step. If you can go on the Christmas 24/7 channel on these videos. We love that you're watching along with us, but this being a new network, we are trying to grow it, so please give us that 5-star rating. Let us know what you thought of the movies, follow along with us, and kind of comment and leave us your commentary, because we love to have you involved with it. So again, please go to the videos, give us that thumbs up, share, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. We appreciate all the support we can get.
Yes, thank you, Haley. Okay, let's go into our Hallmark Essential Checklist. Let's see
Favorite part.
if Christmas in Dollywood follows our Hallmark format. So the first one we have is denial of the relationship. Do we... Oh, it's with Luke and his friend. So when his friend is always saying, hey, you like Rachel, you like this girl. At first he's like, no. I'm denying it.
Yeah. Well, even Rachel, I think she like wanted to hate him in the beginning, and then there's this like chemistry from the bat. Even when they thought they were competitors, there was still that like, why would I tell you? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was like even some form of denial.
Yeah. And I liked it too. Like you mentioned in the beginning as well, when he's like, okay, well, good luck. She's like, oh, you got it warmed up for me. I'm going to go in and rock this interview.
I'm going to hit it home.
Yeah, I'm going to hit it home. Family influence the relationship. I think a little bit with her mom and Luke's friend. Absolutely. He kind of, because he already knows what Luke is like and how he saw a change already in him.
Yeah.
So, deadline. Yeah, trying to get the party up and running in time for the parade.
And both of them just kind of waiting on the news of the jobs before Christmas, too, seemed to me as like a pressing moment.
Yeah. Attempted first kiss. Yeah, I would
Mom
say. Yes.
Interrupting. When that happened, I was like, we haven't had one in a while. This is our moment.
Yeah, right after their first date, Luke is walking her home, and then they trip on the porch, and then they look at each other. They're about to kiss, and then Mom opens the door. One character or both characters are successful. They were both successful.
Yeah, because they both ended up getting the role, so...
Yeah, they, she becomes at the end the successful
So LA,
daughter.
the role,
their role. They got the role. She gets
their position.
The positions. She becomes the writer, and then he gets the job for general manager.
What was a little funny with Luke thinking he didn't get the job, normally you always get something in writing or like it's very clear if you did or didn't.
Yes.
So he's just like, oh, I'm just going to assume like he didn't actually talk to them to see.
No, because he just saw that there's another person that was interviewing for the job. He didn't know that it was the assistant.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. He's like, yeah, I didn't even check up.
No, I didn't think I got it. Amazing Christmas decorations, of course, and then trying to get the Christmas tree.
Yes.
By the way, that Christmas tree lighting was awesome. The way they did the
that
lights
was really
on the tree.
Cool.
That was
and
cool.
then the ones that were like hanging down in the last scene.
Yeah,
I love those.
That was awesome.
I love seeing all the Christmas lights.
Me too. It was so really pretty. Yeah. And then conflict. Yeah, there was conflict.
Well, when he thought he didn't get the job, that was like our fake out. And then we thought she was going to move back to New York. So,
and that's them denying the relationship too, because they were also saying, "Oh, she lives here, he lives here. There's no way this relationship is going to work."
Right. And the tree glitch was a huge conflict.
That was a big conflict. And then them two just working together in general, because he even mentioned to his friends, "Oh, she's kind of pushy. She likes things a certain way. I don't know if we're going to vibe very well together."
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of a
conflict.
conflict.
Those blessings in disguise along the way, learning how to deal with things. And it was this big metaphor and symbolized their relationship. The tree wasn't working, and then they figured it out in the end.
Yeah. And then happy ending. We do have happy ending because Dolly made it very clear. This is a beautiful happy ending.
And I love that they did the year later thing. We don't always see that.
No.
So that was cool to be like, because sometimes you're like, wait, are they going to stay together? So you're like, yes, they did.
And I like with the 1 year later, because normally it's always like an engagement ring or something, but I like how it shows an accomplishment that she made, that she's always wanted.
That's true. You're right.
I thought that was really cool. They made it a little bit different.
Yeah, not your typical, now we have to get married, not babies. It's like, this is still like, be a go-getter, still do what you want to do.
Good, yeah. So that was Christmas
Another
in Dollywood. Another one. Well, it is that time, 17 days before Christmas. So you guys are going to need some gifting ideas. And Haley J is going to take it away.
Oh, hey. All right, guys. So this one, you may have heard of this. It's not exactly brand new, but let's not forget about our hydration over these holiday times, right? We're drinking probably more alcohol than usual. You want to make sure you're still being healthy. And what better way than a hydro flask? I feel like the whole Visco girl thing is really going around right now, but whatever. I think it's still really important to have water on you, and it's awesome to have something that can keep your beverages as cold as you want them or as warm as you want them. So the prices are all over the place. You can decorate them. There's so many different variations of the cups, and I just thought, you know what, I need this in my life because I carry around this big thing of water. I'm good with drinking water, but I want something a little sleeker and nicer. So, and if you order, you guys, if you can order, they have a countdown right on their website. If you order within 5 days, you'll get it by the 24th. So get on that now. Affordable, and just who wouldn't need a gift like that? It's so convenient.
Yeah, my best friend gave me a hydro flask for my birthday.
And do you love it?
I love it. I use it every day.
And just hydroflask.com, even Amazon or other carriers have it, but definitely check that out if you need some ideas. But yeah, so like those are the things that you're like, I want this, but do I really want to buy it myself? But it's like you're so excited when you just finally get it. Well, I would be excited.
And I think the best gifting ideas that you could give for somebody is something that they use every day.
Right.
You know, like
sometimes you
something
just don't need like another pair of socks, like something that like I'll actually use, right?
Yeah, yeah, and this is something you'll actually use.
Practical and necessary.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Haley. Yeah. Okay, well, before we go, we're going to go ahead and give our socials. Haley.
Do you want to go first this time? I always go first.
Okay, fine. I'll go first. Okay. So you could find me on Instagram at Chelsie Overocker. That's Chelsie with an IE. And you could find me on Twitter at Chels Overocker.
And you can find me Instagram and Twitter at HayJ_, HAYJ_.
All right. We'll mix it up a little bit.
Right. And everyone, I think my Instagram name is confusing. Everyone thinks my name Haley is HAYLEY. Just to be clear, it's HALEY, but I can see why that's confusing based off my username.
It can be.
So.
Well, thanks for clarifying that.
In case anyone was wondering, I know you were.
Well, that was Christmas in Dollywood. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And then we'll be back for the next movie.
Yay!
Bye!
Chief Elf Officers Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos, Chief Spirit Officer Jeff Graham, and the entire The Christmas 24/7 channel, we would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV's The Christmas 24/7 channel. If you have questions or comments, email us at thechristmas247@gmail.com. Until next time, do your best to give, forgive, and be merry. Ho, 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 ho.